So, I had done this one time, I want to say 6, 7 years ago, something around that time. And I had realized, I think soon after, when I tried doing my first type of we'll just say podcast, I completely just doxed myself. I said my first, my last, my middle name. I said practically all the information you could have said. And it's definitely a fault of being young, dumb, and stupid. Cannot lie. I rewatched it today, and yeah, kind of did not like that I did that. Luckily, I had the foresight when I was younger to be like, maybe I should not upload that or keep it listed. So I think I'm gonna have to give this another shot. So yes, this is episode 1 Redux remake for just whatever this channel really is gonna be. I think when I was younger, I first thought it was just purely going to be a podcast type channel, and I still kind of have that vision, only because I find out that for some odd reason I enjoy just kind of yapping. Saying whatever, and doesn't have any type of real weight in the world. I kind of just enjoy yapping and saying really whatever comes to mind. Don't know why. It just seems very enjoyable to me. But definitely do hope to have more freedom in the sense of financial type stuff, so that if I ever do get a large amount of money or revenue, would love to start just going into basic things like gaming, and maybe if I ever get into it, try animation in some sort of way. Won't be great, I can say that, but it's something I am really interested in. But for now, I think this will just be a very, low tone, casual, not too serious, other than maybe if I'm ranting, then it might get weirdly serious, or might be talking about a subject that I will for sure not have any actual knowledge on. Don't really think I have a lot of knowledge on a lot of things other than what I personally really know, which is obvious. There's really nothing to it. But I think I'm going to start this back up. I am officially remaking the first ever video I made. It was called Episode 1 Beginnings. And I really was just talking about a lot of stuff that I had went through, and a lot of stuff that I feel like I should not have been talking about. Because in all honesty, I was my own worst enemy, doxing myself. Also, if you do hear click, clacks, and taps and what sounds like biting in the background, that is my dog. He is, I want to say about 9 months, border collie mixed with something else. His name is Bruno. We had found him, me and my partner. We had found him, she had found him out on this reservation. And ever since then, since February, March of 2025, just been taking care of him. It has been definitely a struggle with its ups and downs, that's not fair to say, mainly because the downs aren't really his fault. I would say it's just unfortunate circumstance. What I mean by that is, we had found Bruno sometime during March of 2025, and everything kind of seemed normal. Everything kind of seemed very normal. Seemed very, chill. I didn't expect anything. But I want to say about 4 months, when he was 4 months, he started just to have seizures, very intense seizures, very frightening seizures, I would say. And yeah, it was a very different type of experience raising a dog. Um, it made me really worried about him when he first was having it. Nowadays, other than getting used to it, we have taken him to the vet multiple times, gone to different professionals, different people, and they had all come down to the conclusion that it sadly is just something that he is born with. It sadly is just something that he won't really ever, I don't think, fully get over. I can say, though, when he first had seizures, it was very intense and very frequent, which was the most worrying thing, was knowing that it was a very frequent thing, because obviously, having seizures constantly over and over again isn't great, especially if you're a small dog with a small dog brain. You don't want to just fry it like a scrambling egg on a pan. And luckily, he hasn't done that. Not to say it has been easy, but I have just been glad of the fact of he still is here, still finds the time to, run around, tapping his feet all across the wooden floor, and just him chewing on his little chair leg. I think that's probably my favorite thing so far, is knowing that he still has function in his mouth and still has enough energy to want to run around, because I don't really know what I would do if honestly if things got worse than what they were, because I think it's obvious to know. I'm not one really versed well in medical type stuff or any veterinary type things either. I was just surprised to know that he had seizures. Not saying that I didn't know dogs had seizures. I know I've seen it before on just YouTube, but I just never had it happen in person. And it was just a very interesting thing to find out. Very interesting and very, I guess, eye-opening type deal, because I always thought that was just a really rare thing, and it could be. I could have just gotten the look of the draw that hit me with that, but not really mad at it, to say the least, honestly. Especially because he does seem to be doing better. I guess it goes back to what I was saying. When he was younger, he did have very intense seizures, and multiple times a day that would span for about almost a month. Now that he's closer to 8-9 months, almost a full year, they don't happen like that anymore. I want to say last time he did have an episode was about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. And when that usually happens, it means that he's kind of in his calm down period, or his good period of just not having to go through those episodes. I can't say it is always a matter of time, though. And when it does start happening again, then I could expect it to happen for about a week. But this last time it happened, it only happened for about 3-4 days, which was a very good change of pace, in the way of, I just see it as him recovering better, him not having, I guess, such an intense life. I feel like that's why I really do relate and really do care and just cherish that he is still here, because I had a really intense life, in the sense of I brought a lot of stuff on myself, so I can't really blame anyone but my own mind. Yeah, I was a kid, and I might have not had a fully grown frontal lobe to make good decisions, but that's really no excuse, because I still had some part of me that knew what I was doing was wrong, and it wouldn't bring anything good. But nevertheless, I did still have a very intense life, and to see him have a very intense, upbringing and childhood is a very, I just kind of relate to it. And it makes me really want to strive to make sure that he is okay, that he is gonna be fine for however long he's here. I know it is kind of sad to say that, but when you do just have seizures and you do just have some type of pre-existing condition, I kind of just am one to think that it's more important to focus on the quality instead of how long it will be, because obviously if I was the one to choose forever, which is live for as long as he can to a full life of like 12 to 14, I will definitely try my hardest to have that be a thing. But I also would want to really mainly focus more on the quality of his life, because I realistically don't know how long that would be. Don't really know too well on how seizures affect the body and the brain and all of those good important things that let you live, But I would assume it is safe to say that it shortens the lifespan in some way. And I said it's obviously not his fault, obviously not something he chose, and not something that really me or my partner were able to notice until, he became 4 months, because before then he just seemed normal and just was fine until he actually ate. Until we left home for a little bit, like I want to say 6 hours, because we were just busy doing other stuff that was necessary at the time. And when we had come back, he, I guess, got into charging cords and plastic, a lot of toilet paper, and just stuff that isn't good for the stomach, to say. And I definitely can say I do blame myself for that a lot of the time, because he is my responsibility, and not like he knew what he was doing was wrong. Can't really get mad at a baby for crying when that's really all they know. So definitely do feel responsible for him having seizures if it isn't a hereditary thing. I don't know how believable it is. Not saying it's not possible, but in my eyes, if I ever find out that it isn't a hereditary thing, then it's definitely because of something that I had done. I had left him alone when I shouldn't have. And honestly, there's not really a day I go past without thinking about that. And that probably is also another really big reason of why I really want to try and make sure that I do my best for however long he's here for. I do my best on just trying to make sure that he does enjoy the life that he has. And hopefully soon, one day, I could actually get out of this apartment and he can have an actual backyard to play in, instead of running around in circles in this little wooden area, which is, I hope he enjoys it. He seems to, but I don't know. I really do hope that there comes a time where I could actually take him out to just a good old backyard. I think the only reason why I haven't is mainly because I'm really worried about him having a seizure out in public, and just worried about what really other dog owners and other pet owners and other people would think on it. It's just a very scary thing for me, I guess. And ultimately, I do want him to have a good life, so I try my best just to take care of him, and try my best just to make sure that whatever situation we're in, that he does come first, and mainly just is enjoying whatever life he has left. I think I've said that a couple of times. I found out I repeat myself a lot, which isn't really good for a podcast type of video, but small steps, small beginnings, I guess I kind of went on a bit of a rant. I think I went on too long of a rant about my dog and didn't really explain who I was, but I guess I'll start that now. I am, as my channel says, MLG Kanata 50. A lot of my gamer friends call me MLG, Also other names, because I have like 4 different usernames on a lot of different social media, but mainly go by MLG. And just to give a little bit of background, I guess, kind of have always been into games and stuff like that ever since I was a wee lad, young man, very young man. I want to say first game I really ever played, that comes to mind, was when I was at my old house back in back in another state that I used to live at, and it was off of the Nintendo. What was it? Nintendo 64. It was Nintendo 64. It was called, I think, Tanks 3DO, I believe. And that was a very interesting game. Definitely not great. Definitely not the best game. But it was a really enjoyable game for when I was a little kid. I remember there being different factions, different types of tanks you could choose depending on the faction. If I had to remember, there was one faction that had a power-up where it was just a nuke. Just one giant nuke to end everybody, and I think including myself. Like, I think it was literally the end-all everything type of solution that I always kind of veered towards, because it was just kind of funny. It was kind of funny to play those types of games where if you chose a certain faction or if you did a certain thing, you could just end the full game all the way for everybody, including yourself. And I don't know, it was really, I think Tanks 3DO was honestly my first exposure to just playing games in general. And who knows how it would have been if I never really played those games. Oh, sorry, I was yawning. Probably would have been doing something else. Probably would have been some type of nuclear physicist. No. Probably just would have been doing something else with my time. Who knows? Crocheting, crocheting, maybe bottled ships in a little glass thing, maybe collecting coins or stamps. Who knows? But for the life that I'm in now and for the life that I am living, it seems like I have a really great passion for games. I think that's really however anyone wants to take that is fine, whether it's a bad or a good perspective of it. Because obviously there's always going to be 2 sides of the same coin, you know. I think it's good that I was into games, because where I used to live at was a very interesting environment, to say the least. A very interesting environment and very, very dynamic, I guess is the best way to say. Really, some people I know that lived in the same area as me wouldn't really agree, because they kind of always stayed in their own place or their own location, their own bubble, and would be like, well, this is a very nice location, a very nice neighborhood, when literally 10 minutes, 5 minutes away was another neighborhood that was just known for doing a lot of drugs. And not the good kind, not really weed, not really anything like that, edibles, you know, those are kind of fine. Obviously there's a lot of dispensaries where we lived at, but let's just say it starts with an M and ends with an H and makes you a little bit crazy all the time. That is mainly what that city was known for. And it doesn't really seem to, that drug doesn't really seem to make people nice to hang out with. Not very, how we say, sociable in a good way. They'll talk to you. They'll talk your ear off. They'll talk your ear off and tell you everything that is on their mind. Can't guarantee it's going to be beneficial. Probably is also a very big reason why I enjoy just talking, because a lot of people I was surrounded by were off of this certain substance and would just blabber. And yap. And I think I caught that little bug from them without having to do those types of drugs. Kind of surprised that I also really enjoy talking, despite the fact that I'm not really on anything like that. I used to smoke a lot of weed. Used to do certain types of acid and let's say a little fungal friend every now and then. But I haven't really done either of those things for, well, maybe the acid and the fungal. I haven't really done any of that for, I want to say, 4 years, 5 years. I haven't really had the need to do it again, especially because I feel like I learned what I needed to learn. I do believe that those types of psychoactives can be very helpful depending on person and situation, while at the same time those things can also be the most devastating things that anyone can do in their life. So definitely take anything I say with a grain of salt. My brain is not normal. But yeah, I did used to smoke a lot of weed for a very long time, up until very recently. I want to say it's been about a month and a half, and it was kind of scary. I can't say, thinking about stopping the marijuana, mainly only because of how long that I have done it. I want to say I did start smoking at a very young age of 15, and it was a very, I can't really say enlightening experience. Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I can still say if I do it again, I probably would still enjoy it, but I don't know. Something in my body and my mind is telling me to kind of just give it a rest. Can't say I'm not doing drugs completely, though. I have kind of been shifting my perspectives over to nicotine, and obviously that's no better. It has its own faults, its own bad things, you know. But in a way, in a sense, I feel more clear-headed because, yeah, definitely when I was smoking a lot of weed, I don't think I really had my priorities straight. Or at least I don't think I was able to think of my priorities in a straight way. I was very much all over the place, very much, how we say, don't want to say ADHD ridden, because that's to imply that I got diagnosed for that. I don't believe I ever did. But yeah, just very sporadic type of person when I was smoking a lot of weed for the longest time. And now that I haven't been, I feel like I can actually think of things. I could actually, you know, put my mind to something and keep it on that subject instead of just jumping from one to one to one to one to one, just jumping all over the place. And it's it's definitely gonna do wonders, I think, for my brain after a while of just not smoking. I'm interested to see how it kind of affects me. I think that's also another good reason, well, not good, another big reason of why I kind of wanted to start bringing back this type of channel, why I wanted to actually indulge in it now. Because yeah, my first episode was definitely me just doxing myself, and definitely me just kind of saying a lot of things I shouldn't have been saying. And I think that was a lot due, in fact, because of how much weed I was smoking and how, I want to say, disconnected I was. I think now I could actually think of what to say. I could actually make a subject stay in my head and not just forget it in like 2 minutes of talking about it. And I mean, I think it's gonna really show some type of growth or some type of change. Because I feel like smoking for, I want to say what? So if I started when I was 15, and I'm 24 now. It's about 9 years, I want to say. 9 years. And definitely, that could not have been good for my frontal lobe. Not good for my development. But, I'm not going to say it's the most terrible drug you can do. There's obviously things out there. Obviously a lot worse things out there. I would say the worst thing, honestly, would probably be, that drug that starts with an M and ends with an H, or the folding one. I think we know what I mean when I talk about the folding drug. If you don't, also is very a dangerous drug and starts with an F and ends with a T. And we'll just say those two drugs are honestly, I think, the worst things you could ever do to yourself. Probably also the one that uses a needle, but I also don't really know a whole lot. Don't really know a whole lot of research on that one. I only really knew about those two other drugs because those seemed the most prominent in the area that I used to be living at. And yeah, I think it's truly an epidemic out there with how dangerous drugs can be. And there's there's definitely drugs that are fine. Like I said, I think weed is fine. Weed is kind of an okay thing. Not saying it doesn't have its bad rap. Not saying there isn't people that should definitely stop. There's definitely people out there that probably know if they're hearing this, but there's definitely people out there that should definitely stop. That should definitely think about just putting it down. Maybe for half a year, for a year, maybe forever, maybe for a week. However long they feel and however long they can handle. I think there's definitely people out there that recognize even if weed isn't the most dangerous drug, it's definitely something not everybody should indulge in, nor should be doing for a very extended period of time. Because that's just something that will obviously break you down. No matter what drug you do, whether it be weed, alcohol, anything with a needle or anything off of pillies or, all those stuff. Any drug, any type, any sort, any way, you should never do for the longest time. You should never do for more than maybe a year, maybe 2 years. Obviously, it's hypocritical of me to say because of how long I was doing certain things. But that's why everyone needs to take a first step, Definitely, I'm no saint. I am no God's favorite. I am no good person to be preaching the good word. But I was a person that was doing certain substances and certain things with their life, and I feel like with time comes a lot of learning, and at least for me, I learned that, maybe you should stop certain things. Maybe you should stop certain habits, whether it be physical or ones that your mind just kind of makes you do all the time. Like there's things that people should stop doing, especially if they recognize that it is destroying their life and destroying just who they are. You never want to lose sight of yourself. You never want to lose that childhood self of you. You never want to lose who you want to be. Obviously, everyone has lived a very different life, very different environments, very different experiences. But I also think everyone has that one certain type of person that they want to be, that they want to grow into, that they want to basically just farm. Just farm a very good person, a very good personality, and just take care of it as best as they can. I feel like that's something a lot of people, if not everybody, should be striving for, especially since I think a lot of things could have been avoided in the world if, someone had that one piece of support or that one thought in their head that just kind of told them, be who you truly are, as long as it's not, harming other people or making other people feel discriminated against and things like that. And I know how that sounds. How that sounds when you start saying discriminated against and all that political hoo-ha. But I just really mean it in the sense of just don't be rude, Don't be rude, don't be mean. Some people deserve a good slap across the face. Sometimes some people can be a bit rude and nothing will change their mind other than a bit of violence. But for the most part, if it can be avoided, avoid it to the most of your ability. Because I understand that where I used to live at, that wasn't always an option, It is great to avoid confrontation. It is great to avoid certain things that make you feel very just not well. But I would be a fool, and a naive fool at that, if I didn't learn that some people do just bring that upon you. Some people just do choose to bring upon violence, do choose to bring upon a situation that requires some type of confrontation. That does require some type of, sometimes, a good slap across the face, a good knuckle sandwich to the fucking head. Sometimes some people do really need that. And it's sad, I'm not saying it's good that people do need that. But some people really just don't know how to learn until someone really smacks them across the head. I wish it wasn't that way, honestly. I wish everyone could be very peaceful and very just compromising. People try to say compromising means both sides lose, or one side is getting more out of it. There's no such thing as a true compromise. But I don't know, I truly believe that if we all really did put our heads together and then just kind of didn't become so quick to anger or violence, a lot of things could be solved, a lot of things could be figured out. But in the world we live in and the situations that we are all thrown into, it is very hard not to choose violence, and sometimes violence might just be the only answer. So until the day that I guess we make the ultimate mass destruction weapon that causes everybody in the world to shake with fear, or decide to come up with the best healthcare and best technological advancements that kind of make all that stuff no longer viable, just make sure you take care of yourself, guys. Make sure to, do your best to avoid confrontations, do your best to avoid certain situations that wouldn't help you. But if anything ever does come your way, even if you didn't ask for it, and it requires you to do a bit of pushback, don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Obviously, if the situation is someone's holding a gun to your head and they're asking you for your wallet, your money, and your phone, maybe you should just hand that over. Unless you really think you can handle it, go ahead. Just know that's at your own risk. But just know that you should be able to pick your fights and should be able to know which ones you can win and which ones you can lose. And even if you do pick a fight that you know you lose, if it was one that you needed to really show that you're not going to be one to back down, that's really the most important thing that you could do for yourself. Never let people think they could just throw you willy-nilly, take you for a ride, take you for a fool. Don't let people think that. And if you're gonna let people think you're a fool, make sure you're not actually one and you're just playing the long game. Because the minute that you give anyone any type of sense that they can use you in any type of way, they will. It's a very sad thing to realize, but when you do give someone power over you, whether it be on purpose or not, just know that they will take that chance and they will take advantage of you. So the moment you realize that, get out of that situation as soon as possible or fight back, whichever seems necessary, But yeah, ultimately, be careful. Always be careful and always try to figure out what is the best sort of actions to take. I think I kind of lost the plot a bit because I think I was mainly trying to talk about who I was and what I've been thinking about. I talked about what I've been thinking about, but not who I was. So I guess let's give that a good reset. I am MLG. I am really only creating this channel and only going back to it just to see different growths and aspects of my own person and my own self. Definitely can't say I think I joined the YouTube game a bit late, but I don't think it really matters as long as you just try to have fun and enjoy it. I am just going to be Yapatron 9000. I am just going to be saying whatever comes to mind and saying whatever I find interesting. Obviously, if things ever go good, ever blow up, ever somehow become popular, I will want to listen to your guys' input and talk about whatever you guys would want me to talk about. But can't say I am not the smartest individual. I am not the most well-learned. I think the best way to explain how non-well-learned I am is I did get held back in first grade by just doing a lot of dumb stuff. Doing a lot of dumb things, and staying at attention every damn day of my life. So, yeah, always take things that I say with a grain of salt, and maybe just don't take what I say too seriously. Because at the end of the day, I am just one small human being in this great giant space dust-filled world. And just don't know what else to do with it, Just am bored. And am just interested in seeing where things go. And honestly, I think that is almost everything about me, other than, I guess, interest. And even then, the real only interests I have now are really only going to be games and then music. I can't say I do love me some music. I do love me some tunes. I think that goes for everybody, you know. Music and humans, I think, have been around for the longest time ever. Ever since two Neanderthals can bang rocks together and make a good little beat, good little satisfying thing, you know, music has always been around. And I think, honestly, music is one of the best creative ways to show the world of what you're about or what is always on your mind. I remember I tried to do music for a bit. It didn't go that good, can't say. I more enjoyed the making of it, definitely, but never could really think of what words or what to say. I think that's only because I overthink it, but I could at least get behind a little MIDI keyboard, make a little beat and all that stuff. I'm hoping one day I can get back into that again, because I sadly did have to sell my desktop and my keyboard, and it was a sad thing to do, but you know what? When rent is due, rent is due. You can't really put that on the back burner, or else you just don't have a place to live. And honestly, yeah, I think music is definitely a very large, I would say, influence on my life. Ever since I was young, I really did enjoy music, to the point where I would sit in my room for hours recognizing each word to a song, or looking up, like, oh, where did this person come from, and all that stuff. I am sadly also one of those people that kind of just listens to anything. I know a lot of people say that. And a lot of people don't really mean that. But I am surprisingly one person that hasn't really found anything I dislike. Like, obviously, there's artists, some singers, some rappers, some beat makers, like, whatever. There's going to be some people that I don't vibe with as much, or I might be like, oh, that doesn't sound that great. But I never really found anything that made me hate it. I could always kind of recognize what people like about certain things, and yeah, just recognize, like, oh, this is why people like this. I don't think I really ever found any type of artist or music maker that I didn't like. Obviously, if you play some, like, operated tech music, that's going to be a very select few on what I like. But ultimately, there isn't really anything that I haven't, like, enjoyed. Like, everything has its own appeal. Everything has a reason why someone likes it. I don't think there's ever something out there that everybody in the world hates collectively. I don't think that's really a possible thing. I guess maybe I'm a little bit close-minded in that end. But I don't know. I truly do believe that in one form or another, no matter what type of music you're making, someone is going to like it. Just put your heart and soul into it, you know? Put your heart and soul into it, and just care about what you like to make, and care about what you want people to know and what you want people to feel. And if someone takes it in the wrong way, well, maybe it's a problem with them, you know? That might be a bit of a narcissistic way of looking at it, but if you enjoy the stuff that you make, then that's really all that should matter, you know? But, ultimately, I think if there's ever a career path that I ever really want to get into, it would probably be music. I think music is definitely a really beautiful thing, and music is definitely just something that I hope to one day be able to just learn and get into. Because, I don't know, it's more than like, oh, being famous across the world and all that stuff. Like, yeah, you know, it would be great to be known by everybody and all that stuff. It would also be very awful to be known by everybody, because no matter who you are, even if you have a small influential type of base, like fan base, there's always going to be one crazy person that's going to try finding every little thing about you and try meeting you and try doing this and try doing that. And that's very disturbing to me. But I would love just to do music, just to, I guess, have my own legacy out there. I guess also, if I also ever have children, I would love to show them. I would love to show my children something like this. Like, hey, I had an attempt. I tried, and this was my form of trying. You can try too, and hopefully what you try to do will be more successful than what I've done. Like, I never really want to have my children ask me, like, why didn't you do something? I want to try everything once. I want to try everything at least once and give it a good old shot, just to show them, life is too small not to give things a shot. Life is too short not to do something that you always desired to do, or do something that you really hated to do. Life is a very enjoyable and very, how I was talking about my neighborhood, dynamic. Life is very dynamic. Life can be as interactive and as dynamic as you want it to be, honestly. If you don't want anything to happen in your life, you're able to go find a job, stay in your apartment, pay off rent, and just enjoy that, If you want to have a really dynamic life, go do crazy shit, Go do crazy things. Just make sure you always take care of yourself. Never forget to take care of yourself. Never forget to make sure to feed yourself. Never forget to drink water. Water is very important. You're finding out people don't really drink a whole lot of water. And I don't know. That's kind of strange. I know I was like that for a bit, but now that I do, I feel like that's something I needed. Obviously, it's just water, it's not going to change your life, it's up to you to change your life. It's up to you to do what you do with the things you do. It's just something that helped me kind of become more clear-minded, Water isn't going to be the fix-all, I can't just throw water at my landlord and then my rent is paid. I have to go do things, And, yeah, I would love just to be able to show my kids, my children, my cousins, whoever, future generations of just, hey, you should always try something that you never tried before, whether you really want to or you don't want to. Whether if it was your idea or somebody else's. As long as it's not harming anyone and it's not harming you and you're having fun with it, there's no reason not to try things like that, And I think I lost the plot again, but I kind of do this a lot. Can't lie to you. And trust me, this is me being able to hold the topic a lot better than what I used to. With that first video I uploaded, I don't think I held a single topic as well as I'm doing now. I did kind of jump around, but I remember the first video, I might have had given too much information to the point where it made me uncomfortable, and I'm glad I realized it after, and I unlisted it. Probably need to delete it. Don't know how that whole thing works, but yeah, I think this is gonna be a really good start of just what to do and what to figure out, what I like about life. I guess in a way it's gonna be my own type of, how you say, autobiography. I think that is the correct word. If it's not, I'm sorry. I said I'm not a very well-learned person. I tried my hardest, definitely, but definitely will be getting some things wrong a lot of the time. Maybe to the point where people get annoyed by it and not watch me anymore. But I don't know. I really just want to give this a shot. Really just want to give it a shot. Talk about whatever comes to mind. Talk about what I really enjoy, or is always just always on my mind. But let's see. What would be a good thing to talk about after 44 minutes? I guess a good thing to talk about would be, continuing about the games that I really enjoyed. Just something small. I guess how I said earlier, I think the first exposure I had to my gaming career, as we shall refer it to, is was that Nintendo 64. Tanks 3DO was, I believe, the first ever game I played. After that, I think I was playing a lot of Diddy Kong Racing. I honestly still love Diddy Kong Racing. I think that's actually a really good damn game. I don't think I've ever had another racing game like that. I think the one thing that always makes me love Diddy Kong Racing was the fact that you could switch between racing in cars, racing in boats, and racing in planes, all in one. I don't think I ever really had anything like that. The only thing that comes to mind would honestly be GTA 5, but I don't know that GTA 5 is good. GTA 5 is fun. I had my great fun with it when it was barely out, but I don't know. Don't really want to say I grew out of it, because that kind of implies that I became too mature for it. More of just, I lost interest. Especially after a lot of the different types of added content was business related and stuff like that. I get it. It's cool to have my own drug empire, cool to have my own casino business, cool to have this and that underground bunker, but I think the only things I really did enjoy was actual heists, and even then those were almost impossible to do at all, because you need to find 4 people, or 3 people including myself, and then we all have to agree to do one certain type of thing, and that was it was a struggle. It was somehow more struggle to find good players on GTA 5 than it was to find a damn job, honestly. I kind of wished I had a better experience with that game. Because, the heists were really fun. I really did enjoy that aspect. But, I still don't think GTA 5 was as fun as Diddy Kong Racing, just because, I'm not shooting at people with guns, but I got rockets. I got Diddy Kong. I got Banjo-Kazooie. I got a couple of characters that I like to play, Conker was on there, and I think overall that Diddy Kong Racing on the Nintendo 64 just was the most pure game I think I've ever played. Very, very fun, and of course had a lot of memories about it with my family, all of us playing it, all of us trying to beat Pig, the final boss in that game. And it was great, honestly. I really did like them, and I think the only thing I really miss would probably be my family aspect, and the aspect of just changing between boats and planes and cars, and the maps changing kind of around it, but overall I don't think I've ever found a game like that. I think after I was done with Diddy Kong Racing, I went to... I think I actually went to PlayStation 2. And that was when I was really... we'll just say PlayStation 2 was definitely my gory video game era. Was definitely when I was playing games I shouldn't have. For example, I think the first game that I had on on PlayStation 2 was Mortal Kombat Armageddon. And oh my Lord Jesus Christ, I should not have been playing that. I should not have been playing that game. I should not have been playing that game at whatever young age I was at, but I don't know. I also have great memories of that. I have great memories of my dad playing against me and absolutely whooping me, man. It was the very classic dynamic of my dad having who knows how many years of playing that game, and then me, young child me, just figuring out, oh, if I press square, I punch. Oh, if I press down and triangle, I uppercut. Only having those two main in my arsenal. And yeah, man, it was a thrill. I loved it a lot, but I could tell that my dad really did take it easy on me until I would start talking crap to him, and then his old gamer self would come out, and it would be that classic situation of like when you're playing with your little brother, and you're just beating him too good to the point where he just genuinely starts crying. Like, I remember my dad doing it to me. Like, oh my god, I bet he got annoyed. I would be annoyed. I bet he got annoyed, being like, damn, I can't even like play against my own son, or else I'm just gonna whoop him so bad he just cries. And yeah, I mean, I definitely would. And I would cry to the point where my mom would walk in and tell my dad, you need to take it easy on him. You need to not do this. You need to, yeah, make sure you let him win. And my dad was trying his best. My dad definitely was trying his best to let me win. But you know, when you're a little kid, you're not that good of a gamer. You're not that good. And you just end up losing a lot. So definitely, I don't think it was his fault, but I do love having those memories. I do love having the memories of me playing with my dad and just crying, just crying, and just being a whole baby about it, and just God, basically just ruining his fun. But it was still really great to play those types of games with him. I think that definitely was a really good a really good bonding experience, and a really good, just, I think, overall core memory, you know? I feel like some people might say, that's awful of your dad, or he shouldn't have done that, he should have been letting you win. But I think it was a really good core memory of just teaching me, hey, you're not going to win them all. Hey, man, sometimes you're going to go against somebody that's just better than you, and you just need to be mature about it. Have fun with the time you're having. If you're going to cry and be a baby over it, more than likely not, that person is never going to want to play with you again. And, I mean, who would, you know? Who would want to play with somebody that just absolutely cries and makes a big old fuss about things, you know? And I think that was, a really core moment for me, because after that, after a lot of PlayStation 2 games being like single player and, you know, just mainly playing on my own, that's when I then started getting into multiplayer. That's when, after PS2, my parents had bought me a Xbox 360, and oh my god, oh my god, I remember those days of prime Halo Reach, and just for some reason having the biggest, dumbest smile on my face with the headset on, and just being called the worst things I think I cannot say or repeat. I definitely do believe if I didn't have those prime gaming days with my dad where he was whooping me and talking a lot of trash to me, if I had went to Halo Reach and not had that previous experience, I don't think I would have liked Halo's Reach at all. I don't think I would. The Halo Reach, Call of Duty, all that stuff really does toughen you up and make you a very satirical type of person. Like I loved, even though I was young and probably should not have been hearing half of the words that they were telling me, I loved the fact that I still had enough maturity and enough, I guess, growth in my brain to be like, oh, this is the fun. This is the fun about this, is us all talking crap to each other and just saying just progressively edgier and worse stuff until someone just gets rage baited, and now they're just on the other side of the mic screaming, you know? Like, that's definitely was the best parts of gaming, I want to say. I want to say, yeah, I would love playing on Halo Reach, just doing Speed Halo. And if you guys don't know what Speed Halo is, it's literally, so I think we all know. Halo Reach, I hope we all know, Halo Reach back in the day had like a forge area where you can make your own map and game mode and all that stuff. And all Speed Halo was there was 2 teams. The map was a giant ramp with some little obstacles in the front, and the point of the game was the team on top of the ramp had vehicles ranging from like a little ATV to a big old truck all the way to a giant tank. And all that you had to do was go down the ramp as fast as you can and hit the people at the bottom, while the people at the bottom are equipped with gravity hammers and golf clubs that could just destroy any vehicle in a second. And the reason why it's called Speed Halo is because at the top and the bottom of the ramp were these teleporters that if you just hit right and you just kept slamming right into them, you would just keep getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And I swear I loved that game mode more than anything when I was playing Halo Reach. Definitely was peak Halo in my opinion. I really do miss those days, and I hope to God that there's a day that I somehow build a big enough fan base or somehow find enough older friends where we just kind of go back to that, you know? We just kind of go back to those days, and we just kind of cherish those things again, because I really don't think there was a more wholesome time. Obviously, it wasn't wholesome for the fact that we're saying such horrendous things to each other, and it's all a lot of grown men that would have just been absolutely talking a lot of trash, but wholesome in a sense of it was just the most fun time I think I ever had. Definitely Halo Reach was a game that has a lot of fond memories and a lot of nostalgia for. But other than that multiplayer game, was obviously playing a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1. Can't say, Black Ops 2 was when I actually adopted the name MLG Kanata, because that was just the supreme time of just MLG highlights. Having air horns, Dorito chips, hit marker sounds, smoke weed every day, 420 memes, like all that funny stuff. And I mean, it was great. I think those were honestly the most fun times I've ever had in my life. And if I could, would definitely go back to those days. Go back to the days of watching Vanoss Gaming just do a bunch of funny stuff with his whole group of friends, minus Minilad, because we don't like Minilad. Minilad is terrible. Minilad is bad. Terrorizer should have won that reward. I think they chose the wrong person. But, definitely missed those days. And I think what I loved about Black Ops 2 was just the different things you can do. Like, it was almost Halo Reach in the sense of you can make your own game modes and kind of have your own fun. Like, I remember a really fun game that me and my friends used to play was it was paintball. If you guys don't know, paintball I don't think it's an official game mode. I think it's something you kind of have to like tweak the little settings for. It's not really a whole lot to tweak about it, but paintball was just a game on Black Ops 2 because there was a paintball map, and the way that we would recreate it is put headshots only use the FAL or SMR, and then put the suppressor on it, because it's like shooting little paintballs, and just have fun all day, every day with that, I think if we used pistols, it was going to be the TAC 45, because that was just a one-shot headshot. But no, those days were really fun, just because I remember, I was in XGN for a little bit, XGN clan. Don't think it was a great, I don't think it was a great amount of people in the XGN clan back then. Definitely not like how it was now. But I remember when the days when it first came out, it was kind of smaller, and very much so just fun. Nowadays, I think if you went to XGN, it's very how you say, too many labels. I'm not saying it's bad, but more like I didn't really, well, I can't say I didn't really enjoy the aspect of being promoted and going through the ranks and all that stuff. Like, yeah, it was fun for the time being, but then it kind of started becoming a bit of a job in a way. I literally remember, because you first start off as private or whatever, and you have the chance to go all the way up into staff, and you could do a lot of stuff, know a lot of stuff. If I recall, I think the furthest I ever made it was general, and if I remember correctly, I don't know. I don't know if it was general, but it was something of that sort. And if I remember correctly, once you reach that point of it, they taught you how to use this is how I learned how to use Excel, because they were using Excel spreadsheets, and what they would track is like I think it was every week or every month, there was like meetings, and you would just literally put in names of who joined the meeting, what were we like talking about on another like Word document. On the Excel, yeah, you just put in who was there, how many people, looking for group posts, attendance, literally attendance sheets. It was like a huge attendance sheet, and it would be separated from active to non-active, and I think threatening to be kicked, because if you weren't active for so long or weren't joining meetings, they kind of just said, you know what, you're not orientated enough to be in this group, so time for you to leave. Come back if you want. And they also had a blacklist, but that wasn't on an Excel. That was actually on their XGN website, which honestly was pretty well made for being a bunch of people in a clan. Pretty well made website. You could literally just go on there and search up who's blacklisted, and then it just is this giant list. If I remember, I think it was mainly TSB people, because I guess TSB and XGN were like just enemies. Something like that. Like, it was just something like just we were beefing with TSB, I guess. And I don't know, I always thought, if you could, just make friends with whoever you can. Kind of weird to not, ban a whole clan, but who knows what they must have done, if they did anything at all, But from what I remember, it was mainly TSB people that were not a part of XGN. But overall, XGN was really fun, especially in those early Black Ops 2 days. It was a very, very good experience, I want to say. And obviously, it's not for everybody, If you just kind of want to play games and have fun, you could just stay at like private rank or whatever and just kind of be doing whatever you want. But it's I think there's a certain type of person that has to join XGN and then want to go up the ranks. Whether that's good or that's bad is up to you, really. But ultimately, I think it doesn't take, it's not just anyone could join XGN and then just go up rank after rank after rank after rank and still find enjoyment, especially when, you have your own job and your own life and your own stuff to do. I think it's very hard to balance out. But overall, I think XGN was probably one of the most fun clans that I had joined while I was in it, and I don't think I would have it any other way. If I remember, Triple Helix. Triple Helix was the clan within the clan that you're kind of a part of, and then I think it was Triple Helix Silver that I was a part of. And then after that, I went to DOD, which was, what did DOD stand for? Yeah, I don't remember actually. But yeah, I remember joining DOD, and it was Genesis, a part of the DOD that I was really a part of. And I think if anyone ever recognizes that, feel old. I'm old. We're both old. Definitely, I don't know if it's around anymore. But yeah, I remember doing a lot in those little family type groups, and it was really fun. It was really great. Don't think I would want it any other way. Definitely do know I did burn a couple bridges, and I did do a couple things I regret, but overall, XGM was a really fun place to be in. Don't really think I would have had much fun in games if I wasn't there. But that was only in like mainly like early Black Ops 2 days and stuff like that. But let's see, other multiplayer games that I had played other than Halo Reach and Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1. I had played a lot of Battlefield 4. Definitely did enjoy that too, but didn't get the full experience because I didn't buy like all the premium DLC until much later when Battlefield 4 kind of was already dying. But it had a great campaign at least. Really good gunplay in that one, I think. It was fun, but not really too memorable, other than it was kind of like, the only other game I was playing. But definitely, when I did start playing multiplayer games, it was a great thing. It was a great fun game, and I don't know, I think it was a lot of great times to be had during those times. Kind of missed those. I think nowadays all I really play is gonna be like Cyberpunk. I've been playing Marvel Rivals again. Have a good grade of friends now that enjoy playing Marvel Rivals again. I get too ADHD sometimes though, and kind of start talking too much crap. But yeah, it's still a great time to be had. I've been trying to get back into Monster Hunter Wilds, but every time I try playing with a friend, it kind of just crashes, and I'm just like, well, this is stupid. This is dumb. Time to play something else. But yeah, really, other than that, not really been playing a lot of games. The only other game I can say I've been playing is Fragpunk, which is kind of like a knockoff Valorant, but it's a really fun knockoff. I can't say. I think it's one of the better ones I've been playing. Definitely used to play a lot more on my desktop before I had sold it. But like I said, when rent comes knocking, you can't really say no. You gotta be able to pay your rent, But yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't know if there's a lot else to talk about. Well, I guess for the first episode, that is. I think for the next one, I might try to remember more about just, I guess, childhood and stuff like that, Right now, I've just been talking about what I've been interested in and what mainly is the channel going to be about. Giving you guys a little preview of still how sporadic my mind is, even though, it's not as sporadic how it used to be. And overall, I think I just want to kind of find a community of people that kind of just like to yap. That kind of just like to yap and kind of just like to say whatever comes to mind. I think this is a good sign to stop it off here, to kind of just relax, have my brain rethink of what to do with this channel. And I just hope that I get to keep doing this, and I hope that this becomes a fun little series. Don't really know what my uploading schedule is gonna be. I think it's gonna just be just off the top of the head and just happen whenever it happens. And I hope just you people do enjoy it. I definitely do recognize that this is a form of long form content, that probably won't be popular within the algorithm, but I kind of want to go more to an older school YouTube, an older school of just more like more raw, and more of like just talking about whatever, having people just be here for whatever reason, whether they're sleeping to it, to the video, or they're gonna comment and be like, damn, you're stupid, or like, whatever. Just things like that. Just to have people around me that just like to yap. Don't like to take life too seriously until it needs to be taken seriously, and just yap away. But yeah. I think the only other thing I could really talk about is that the only other video I have uploaded on my channel would be my speedrun attempt of Dead by Daylight, which sadly did not get accepted because I didn't know you had to take a video of pre-game lobby, which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, especially since they didn't know that it was an online match, and they didn't know that I was trying as hard as I could. But honestly, you guys let me know about that speedrun attempt, and if there's anything else I could do, I'll definitely take into account, and definitely anything that you guys want me to talk about, any topics, anything like that, I will try my best to divulge as open as I can. And if there's anything you guys are interested in, I am always here to just answer whatever questions, and just give a good old aspect of what my life is and what it can be, and just really seeing how I changed from here on out. I know I definitely changed a lot from 9 years ago, and I feel like this was more clean cut. Well, not clean cut. I feel like this was more genuine of me than what I was doing before. And I just want to say I am extremely sorry for if you guys got annoyed hearing Bruno tapping his feet on the ground and all of that. Hopefully one day I can get some type of good editing software and a computer again to just actually be able to work on noise level and all that stuff. But until then, I hope that you guys enjoyed whatever this was, and I hope to just kind of be a chill part of the day for you guys. Whether it's you guys going to work, going to the bathroom, on lunch, sleeping, on a road trip, whatever. I hope to just be a good aspect on your guys' lives, and if there's anything you guys ever want an opinion on or ever want to just talk about, please hit me up in the comments, and you are more than welcome to ask for any type of gaming handle or Discord handle, and I would love just to have a huge community of people, of us just enjoying what life is. But yes, this was MLG Kanata 50. Hope to be making more of these, and can't wait to see what life brings me. Bye bye.